Hi, I'm Ms. Pozak and I'm teaching reading. This week we are talking about text-to-text connections. Remember, a text-to-text connection is whenever you read something and think, hey, that reminds me of this other book. Today we will be reading Very Little Red Riding Hood by Heapy and Heap. It's another version of the Little Red Riding Hood fairy tale, but it's different from yesterday's. So today, while I'm reading, I want you to think about how this book is the same as yesterday's book, how it's different from yesterday's book, and also how it's the same and different as the original fairy tale. So let's get started. Very Little Red Riding Hood by Teresa Heapy and Sue Heap. Very Little Red Riding Hood was going to her grandma's for a sleepover. I go see Grandma with cakes, said Very Little Red Riding Hood. Yes, my love, I know, said her mommy. Off you go. Be gentle with Grandma and don't break anything. Bye-bye, my mommy, said Very Little Red Riding Hood. Right away, we can see similarities to the original fairy tale, but also how this story is different from the version that we read yesterday. Let's keep reading. So Very Little Red Riding Hood set off for Grandma's house. She hadn't gotten very far when she met a wolf. Foxy, said Very Little Red Riding Hood, and she gave him a big hug. Aren't you scared? Asked the wolf. I'm not scared. I'm Very Little Red Riding Hood, that's what I am, said Very Little Red Riding Hood. I go see Grandma with cakes, said Very Little Red Riding Hood. Oh, good, said the wolf. Can I have one? No, said Very Little Red Riding Hood. No touch my cakes. The wolf tried again. Can I come too? No, shouted Very Little Red Riding Hood. Go away. The wolf tried once more. Look at these lovely flowers, he said. We could pick some for your grandma. No! Screamed Very Little Red Riding Hood. No lello flowers. Wed. So they picked some red flowers. Come on, Foxy, said Very Little Red Riding Hood. We go this way. Chase me! So the wolf had to chase Very Little Red Riding Hood all the way to Grandma's house. Very Little Red Riding Hood knocked on Grandma's door. I come see you, Grandma. Look, cakes, she said. Well, it's very lovely to see you, dear, said Grandma. And then, help! There's a wolf on the doorstep! We're going to go ahead and pause there. There's a link in the description with the rest of the story that I definitely recommend that you listen to because it is a really great book. So, how is that book the same as the original fairy tale? One way that I noticed they were the same is that they both have a fox and they all go to Grandma's house. One way that it's different from the book we read yesterday is that it's a fox instead of a lion like in yesterday's story. And in yesterday's book, there was the aunt instead of Grandma. Today in reading, you will tell me one way that this book was the same as the story we read yesterday, and one way that it is different from the story we read yesterday. You can show this information by either taking a video on Class Dojo or writing it down and taking a picture. There's also a link to yesterday's video in the description so that you can enjoy that book again and get a refresher. I'm really excited to see what you guys do.